What's up, YouTube? It's Spartan PC bringing you a new video today. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a virtual machine in VMware Workstation. So these just run off of, it's not in the cloud or anything. It just runs off of whatever hardware you're using. I just have it on my laptop here. We're going to set up a Windows server because that seems to be, for some reason, the hardest one to set up. It took me a while to figure out how to get through it. So let's get right into it. So I just have this test folder. I'm going to start from the beginning. So we're going to create a new virtual machine here. We can just keep it as typical. I'm not really going to show all the advanced options. I'm just going to show you how to get, the standard, just like a Windows server in a VM. So I'm just going to do install operating system later. I found that this works much better than installing it just right now. So we'll want to keep it on Windows. As for the version, I just have a 2016 ISO that we're going to use. And this I'll just call test, and it can just go in the default location. You can put this to whatever you want. It depends on your needs. Just for the time being, though, I'm just going to keep it at 60 gigs. Split it into multiple files is fine. So you can just keep this all the default. So here you can change the how many cores and how much RAM it has and different things like that. I'm just going to keep it at the at what it defaults to. You can change this, and as I said, depends on what your use case is, whether you need more cores or more RAM. I'm just going to keep how it is, so totally fine. So we're just going to finish. This should create it up here on the left with the name. Now we got to do a couple things before we can actually turn it on. So we're going to come to edit. We didn't add the operating system at the beginning, so we want to come here to the CD. I'm going to use the ISO file, come to my downloads. Here's the ISO for server 2016. It's just an eval one, so it's completely free. I just got it off of the the Microsoft website. So that's good. That's all you need to do here. In the options, we actually need to come down to advanced and set it up for BIOS boot because UEFI doesn't work for Windows. It does for Linux, but you want to change it to BIOS here. The other thing you can do, which I like, but if you're doing this for a production environment, I wouldn't recommend doing this. But if it's just you have a lab and you want to mess around with some VMs, this is really nice to have shared folders, especially because you can map it on a Windows thing. So I can just come to here, I can browse, and I can just share out my whole downloads folder, right? And I'll show you guys how to do this in a second. We have to install VMware tools and all that. But basically, that's all you got to do. So add the ISO here, whichever one you're going to use, and then change it to BIOS. And that's for Windows. Hit OK, so it'll save that. We can power it on. Okay, so it'll go through. Shouldn't take too long to load up, but you should get the Windows logo, and it should do some spinning. And then I'm just going to take you through the install process. So you can change this if you need to. I don't need to. Just hit next, do install now, and you should come up with another screen here. And the other thing too is you can make it full screen, right? So in this one, so you want to choose the desktop experience if you want a GUI, which I feel like for the most part you do want like a desktop environment. So you can just hit that one, hit next. Also, if your mouse gets stuck in this little pane right here, you just have to hit Control-Alt and it will release your mouse from this window pane. Accept the license. You'll want to do custom install. Just doing the upgrade. I don't know why it has the upgrade option, but you want to do custom install. It should already just allocate the space that you allocated for your drive, which in my case was just 60 gigs. You don't really need to do too much here. You can just hit next and it'll install it on that drive, right? So this part takes a little while, but basically at this point, it should be good to go. It'll ask you to set an administrator password, and that will be the one that you use to log in originally. And then after that, you can add new users, whatever you want. You basically have full control of the VM and the environment after that. So I'll just show you guys how to, after this goes, what I'll do is I can show you how to set up that share so that you can get files from your computer onto the VM. It, for some reason, it does let you, it's supposed to let you copy and paste. In mine, it hasn't really let me do that. And I have the pro version here of Workstation. So it's kind of interesting. It doesn't let me copy and paste, but what I do is I just put it in my downloads folder and then I can get it onto my virtual machine, right? So it's just a little bit of a workaround, but it's pretty fine. The only thing too is if you need to edit it, like if you didn't select one of the right options, right, you're going to need to right click here and you're going to want to shut it down because we can't edit the anything here, right, until it's shut down. So this should install the updates and finish up, and then it'll ask us to prompt for a password for the administrator user. So then it'll restart. Well, let's just restart now. No need to wait 10 seconds. All right, so see how, well, I guess you can't really tell, but I'm moving my mouse around, right? And I can't see it. Oh, now I can. See how it kind of gets locked in there? So if I click on it, if I just press Control Alt, my mouse will appear again, right? So if you ever need to get out of it, that's what you can do. Okay, so then it does all this stuff, you know, just like you normally would when you first set up Windows, you know, on a desktop or laptop or whatever. It'll reboot a couple times, which is fine. Let it do its thing. So it'll give you guys a good timeline as well as like how long it takes to, so you can't change that administrator one, which is fine. So just put, you know, whatever password you want, you can change it later, doesn't matter. And then, you know, down here it says, you know, tell it when you finish installing. So I'm going to put I finished installing so that I don't have that pop up anymore. So it takes about, I'd say 10-ish minutes, really not that bad, to set this up before you can actually, you know, log in, get everything ready. And that's from, you know, creating the virtual machine up until it's installed everything and getting everything ready. So, you know, pretty straightforward, pretty quick. The only thing that you kind of have to wait for is when it does the settings and after the first time you log in. After that, it's pretty quick for the most part. And then I also recommend once you do get it, you know, all set up and everything, you just take a snapshot, right? That way, you know, whatever happens, you know, after you log in and start working and stuff like that, you can take it back to how it was, you know, basically post install, right? So here, you'll want to do this to send the Control Delete, and that'll let you be able to sign in. So, you know, at this point, you would want to take a snapshot right here, right? Or you can make a clone of it, whatever you want to do. Just hit yes. You can close out of the server manager. It's fine. And here we go, right? We have a Windows 2016 server OS installed. So now what we want to do is we want to install VMware tools. So I'll show you guys how to do that here. So we want to go to settings, options, VMware tools. Let me see if I remember how to do this because I don't think it's in VMware tools. There's a way to get it on here and I always forget how to do it. I think I have to shut it down here. Let's see. Oh yeah, never mind, you don't. You just have to go to install VMware tools. It's just a thing right here. And then that should come up with a DVD drive right here. And it should come up with VMware tools. You actually have to double click that and it will come up with this little installation thing. And this is when, you know, it goes through the process of installing VMware tools. You can just keep it with as typical. So this is so that, I mean, there's a lot of, cool things you can do with VMware tools. I'm just doing this so that I can get my downloads folder, be able to be accessible from, no, we don't need to restart it. I don't think. We might need to though. All right, no, yep. So here's my downloads, right? I can access them. I can copy anything from my downloads onto here. So really it's that easy, right? I have a full functioning server. I can put other software, whatever that I want to put on here from my downloads folder or whatever shared one you want to use. And you should be all ready to go. You can also, disable that shared once you're, not needing it anymore and you want it to be more secure. But yeah, that's basically it. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, have an awesome day.